advanced battle.
Macro cannons! Open fire!
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity. I believe there are those among us who share that sentiment. But such is our duty, is it not? To overcome base weaknesses and desires, so as to excel in our service to the God Emperor, the master of humanity. Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias. At your service. I have... the pleasure of speaking with you in person before. My regards, Lieutenant General. The Astra Militarum is the hammer of the God Emperor. I will be frank with you. You may forget your past titles, no matter who... them to you, or what their origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias, and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with Her Ladyship. Bear it with honor. Such are the traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis, at the time when the first rogue traders entered the God Emperor's service, and therefore, it is sacrosanct. So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader. I see that you are shocked. Yes, you understood correctly. Lady Theodora's authority indeed supersedes that of those whom you obeyed before. The Lord Captain's power is so great. I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back. Especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that Her Ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade, and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, there is, and you will meet him soon enough. To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies in... reformers who serve the interests of House von Valencius. But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Ethelthred.
Keep your wits about you.
One of the Von Valencia's trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
What's happening? Run! The servitors have gone berserk!
Your demise is already calculated.
It's as good as done. I'll make it happen. I'll see to it personally. I am ready for whatever comes. Who, if not me?
Death to the heretics!
What suspicion? I'm afraid.
always have a backup plan.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crew sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure? Transportation, deployment, the unending bureaucracy of the Adeptus Administratum. All to achieve an unpredictable result. People are frail, especially when poorly equipped and trained, and facing an unfamiliar opponent.
The wait alone might take an eternity. Not to mention that such a planet might present an opposing force that is not material in nature. Regiments and armies are not always a solution to predicaments, such as the one described. It would appear you do not know that. Insolent, ignorant upstart. How dare you!
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
So, why? You are direct. I approve. But you will have to wait. There is something I want. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical. reign, and it is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with Von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. Perhaps. Yesterday you were just another servant of the Imperium, one of the faceless multitudes. Today, visitors in the Von Valancius colors come to you without any explanation and escort you to a vessel that departs for the far-off Coronis expanse. But such is the nature of my position. My claim on you is sacred and non-negotiable. I require all those who possess even a drop of the Von Valancius blood, no matter who they may be. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake. Naturally, some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis expanse. Service in the Astra Militarum is a trial from which very few people emerge with their life. That you have risen through the ranks of the Imperial Guard and assumed command of an army is a testament to your astuteness, both on the battlefield and in the tangled net of officer intrigues. I assure you, the company that a rogue trader keeps will offer you plenty of chances to demonstrate both your diplomatic skills and your combat prowess. Moreover, your courage has made you far more famous than you yourself probably realize. True feats of heroism will forever live on in the annals of the Imperium and bring honor to the Von Valancius line. His kinship to me is most distant, as is Nonetheless, he does bear the name Von Valancius, even if he of... Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live. Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Ethelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide. Sometimes I forget that people without direct access to a ship's bridge may not know the first thing about how a void ship travels between the stars. Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing into the warp, an otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of the Gellerfield, we shorten the route to our destination, crossing distances that would require hundreds of years in a matter of weeks instead, sometimes in days or even hours. In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on...
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
You'll make a suitable sacrifice.
Don't touch me!
My place is at the fore. Reduced to dust! I took care of this one.
Break their morale. Die! Death to non-believers! Out of my way!
I'll see to it personally.
For the glory of my masters!
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. One fewer tongue.
The glory of the Imperium!
I don't need luck. I have strategy. It's as good as done. Another enemy down.
I can handle this.
Mort! Take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks.
Oh, the casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went... Possibly. Quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and... Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant...
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on...
Mort, hold yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? Or...
Master of...
I have not yet received word from the Engineering regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
You don't know the half of it. There's only one thing worse than the warp addling the brains of our crew, and that's the warp itself crawling all over our decks. I shouldn't even think about it. It's bad luck. Your orders, Lord Captain.
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once. Ethelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Ethelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-Militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Ethelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Ethelthrad's psyker powers.
Then it's settled. Find Ethelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? Then move out! Mort, come!
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk. Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant. Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. She has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber, and for that, I need her breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful. How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel. On the contrary, the Wolf's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for? Wretched. What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind. Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench Fon Valencius watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
There is still another way!
I always keep my options open.
Escort the child of the house to safety. Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations. Voxcast frequencies disrupted.
Move faster! Restore communication with the navigator's sanctum! I'm trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once! I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by. Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the Warren chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will stop.
Run, fools, or fall! Mistress? Whatever are you doing in the Warren Chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me, what is the meaning of this? Mistress, with all due respect, what nonsense are you saying? Kunrad? A traitor? Saint's blood! Then it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Mistress. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne,
I refuse.
I'm at your service. This wound will make a fight. That is a noticeable... The lower decks are... But that is not the worst of it. Absolutely. The Lord Captain is calling...
You will die of grieving! You will die power!
Run, fools, or fall!
The monsters demand your death!
Follow my lead! Reduced to dust! Indeed. I'd rather not. Victory is imminent.
On it. I won't compromise my principles. Who if not me?
I serve the ruinous powers!
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Death to the weak!
Just a minor setback.
Chaos guides me!
I've suffered worse. Brace yourself, Abelard. It will be done. The more, the better.
I'll see to it personally. It's as good as done.
Your end was inevitable.
My ears are ringing. At your beck and call, I took care of this one. Reduced to dust!
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.